Hi everybody, this is Andy Chan. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm an RCIC, and the focus of this watch list is I've been showing an Excel model I created for various PNP streams. So this is really meant for other immigration practitioners. And again, my usual preamble is that I am an RCIC, so if you are hoping to immigrate to Canada, you can leave me a message. I also have an affiliate link with the Canadian Immigration Institute. Really useful resource especially if your English skills are pretty good. You could, if you wanted to, submit your own express entry application. And actually, I used that company when I was studying too. So really good resource. The link is below. So in today's video, it's a little different, and as you can tell from the title, I'm pretty new. I'm a pretty new immigration consultant, and what it did was I really didn't want to spend the money paying for a website because since I'm starting out, I figure sales volume would be pretty low, and the other thing is I really wanted control of how everything's presented on my website. So the bottom line is what I want to show you is a free way for you, fellow immigration practitioner, to create your own website. And not only that, the focus of this video is to show you how you can create your own assessment forms for free. So the tools I use is basically Google Forms and Google Sheets. For me personally, Google Sheets doesn't quite do the job because if you've been watching my other videos, you know that I've got a very large Excel model. So for my business so far, the only license I've really had to pay is for Office 365. The formulas that I use aren't quite portable to Google Sheets, and I do have a little bit of VBA coding too, which I would basically have to rewrite from scratch. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly go over Google Forms, then enter in some data, and then show you how to easily incorporate that into our CRS assessment, or just a small facsimile of one, and then show you how to add that link to your own website. And again, I'm kind of generalizing it because some people, if you're, well, frankly, I should have said this right from the go. If you have a technical background, you're not going to get anything from this video. Actually, this video is really meant for those that are just starting out, who haven't really, if you've never set up your own WordPress site or anything else. What I use Weebly actually. Actually, it's probably not. Actually, it's not probably. It's not as powerful as WordPress, but it's a platform I had started using years and years ago, and I just felt really comfortable in using it for my new immigration website. So that's what I chose. So, anyways, I'll just show you how to incorporate the Google Forms then onto your own website. And then what I'll do after all that is then I'll walk you through how I do it, because my example is substantially more complicated than what you would probably have, because my PNP assessments, I calculate 35 streams all at once. All right, so let me get into Google Forms now. So Google Forms, is, as you know, we're the name of Google. Google has a way for you to collect data from people. Could be customers, could be friends, whatever. So they have this little really easy to build platform where you can go click plus. You can add a question, for example, what language test did you take? I wish I could type better. Right? And then this will appear for the user. All right, so I'm just going to delete this. So in this little sample form, I'm just asking whether the person is married and their birthday. Obviously, two areas for scoring in CRS. Okay, so what I'll do is I will send it, and if you click the send button, you can either email it to your client, which is you know, I think one of the actually all three, oh no, the big immigration CRM packages, Officio and KCEZ, they do something similar. So you can email it to your client, or you can have a link. And so what I'll do is I'll show you how to use a link first, and then I'll show you how to embed it in your website, which is this like HTML tag. All right, so I've got this link. I'm going to copy it, and here's the sample assessment. So I just have two questions here. Okay, so my email, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to enter in my Hotmail address. Oh geez, what am I doing? It's been long in the day. I had a 4-hour CPD session this afternoon, so and it's really hot outside too. So if you don't mind me, I'm a little spaced out. And actually, I think I show up pretty well on the camera. Okay, now I'm a little dark, but it was pretty good lighting there for a second when I first started, because it's actually quite late in the day. So maybe not seeing me is a good thing. All right, so I've keyed in whether I'm married and my birthday. I've just submitted it. Now, if we go back here, okay, I'm gonna close this. Oh yeah, there showed up. So if I click on go back here, I'll see there's one response. Right, and so that came right from the form. And then here's the thing: if you click on this is the icon for Google Sheets, and there's the data. That's super handy. And then because it's Google Sheets, and Google Sheets functions very similar to Microsoft Excel. If you click on calculation, what I had done before is I had a cell reference to those cells. So I've got the first row. So let me see. So the first row is D2, and this is D3. So if I go here, so this form here. So what I'm trying to show is if you get the data extracted from the Google Forms, you can export it to Google Sheets, and you can have your own CRS calculation right there. So, this is obviously not the best example because, I'm just showing the points, but I'm not doing a calculation based on the age. But if you have the age, you can quickly, if you have the birth date, you can quickly show what the age is, and then you can quickly calculate how many points there are. All right. So I hope I didn't lose you there. So let me just go back. So here's the form. I click on the Google Sheets. Google Sheets open up this. There's the data. Okay. And then on the calculation, you're picking up those values. Okay, so let me now show you how to embed this simple form onto your website. I said just a second ago, click on send, you can send it to your client via email. You could have it just as a link. So, you could actually, send this on WhatsApp, or, add this to your own separate email. But if you click on here, here's a piece of HTML code. And what this tag does is it put the Google form into a frame, like an iframe. And what an iframe does is a little area inside a web page. Okay, so I think I'm getting darker and darker. So what I'll do is I'll copy this. So I'll just copy this whole long string. I'm going to go in here. This is Weebly, and again, I've been using this for a while. I think you'd get something similar in WordPress or whatever. So here's the designer for my website, and my website is called newpostimiweebly.com. All right, and the tab I'm on is called sample. That's the page that I'm on. See, this is the sample page, and I'm not showing anything. But watch what happens if I embed that HTML. I click on edit custom HTML, put that in, right? It shows up automatically. So there's your form. I'll click on publish, and you go back to when I go back to my website, there it is. So now, I mean, you can use a company like RCICs, wonderful company. More to talk about them later on, or another tool. But if you're not quite ready for that, I've just shown you how to use Google Forms, take the data into Google Sheets, do your evaluation. You can use the Google Forms also to send the form to the client, or embed the form directly onto your website. Okay, so that's part one. What I'll do now is I'll show you what I use for my own website. So here's my website. So just a second ago, I showed you a really simple form. Well, what I've done is this. I actually have 4 different forms. And the reason why I have 4 different forms is because I actually ask information to calculate roughly 35 different streams. So I asked for the birth date, marital status. Well, actually, I need the email. So good thing I don't use this Hotmail anymore. Oh, my apologies. Yeah, it was really dark earlier, so I just turned on the light. So that's the first part, and I enter in my birthday. I'll just use this 0101. Marital status, no spouse, and then you see this. So even this first form, I ask a lot of questions. I'll sell PIP TEF Canada or TCF Canada. You can enter in the scoring, right? So basically what that is if, let me go back to my model. So if you've been watching my other videos, you'll know that the yellow cells I have is a data entry. So the marital status, I prompt for the language, I prompt for the second language test, and I have this the education, the province of the education, whole bunch of other stuff. Work history. Let me wipe that out. You'll see why in a second. You'll notice that this looks a little weird. Oh, okay, and there's a reason for that. So I put in a substantial change because before, up until now, I've been keying in all the information. Well, now what I do is I feed it. Now I'm feeding it, wrong window, from this form. And because I feed it from the form, I have to accommodate for some of the Google formatting. So the main thing is a lot of these cells now are referencing this sheet over here, and this is where I import the data from Google. But here's the thing, you know, I was always reusing this Excel file, but you know, since you can make copies of this Excel file, and what I was planning on doing for myself is each client I have, I would keep a separate Excel file, so you know at that whatever point in time that's what you recorded. If you don't if for whatever reason you don't like the data that's been imported from Google, all it is formula. You can just overwrite it. So you could just overwrite this as a new employer, right? Says because what it's doing now is the other cells are looking to this other tab, but you could easily overwrite it. Okay, so I'm just going to cancel that. So I'm going to set it back. So here's where I'm planning on copying in the data. So what I had done before is the data is automatically saved for me on Google Sheets. But because I'm using Microsoft Excel, what I do instead is this. This is the main assessments. Here's some of the responses I've received so far. I click on this sheet tab, this Google Sheets tab, but I don't have the calculations here, right? So what I do is I'm going to copy this out. Oh, actually no. Let me just go back here. So I don't have much of anything saved. So I don't have any data here. I don't have any language scoring. I don't have a value for birth date, right? Because everything's pointing here. But watch what happens when I copy in the data. So I copy that, go back to my sheet, and this is where I wanted to copy it. And look, so what I've done is I've taken the data from this form, which is residing on this Google Sheet, manually copied it to my model, and then all of a sudden, all that I've copied it into here, right? And then all of a sudden, all these calculations start, right? So I had keyed this in just as dummy data. So I had keyed this in Google in the Google Forms, and it's picking everything up. Okay, and now here's the one thing. I entered in the job title. I got that from Google Sheets. So the one shortcoming of Google Sheets, see, what's your primary occupation? Dentist. The one shortcoming of Google Sheets, oops, let me see, where's the primary occupation there? Right. The one shortcoming of Google Sheets is that it's very difficult to have a drop down like I have for the knock codes. So I get as much data as I can from Google. The one piece of data that I'm not picking up is the knock code. So what I do is I bring in the job title, and then I leave it up to you to match it up to the knock code, right? So, but having said that, I think that's a pretty good start. So on my website here, right, I take all this data, the data saved on this Google Sheet, I manually copy it, and I put it into this new form this tab called Google Forms. All I'm doing is I'm just pasting it in, and now because of changing how these formulas work, I'm pointing over here, it's automatically calculating, especially now that I'm bringing in the work hours. And then, but the one thing I have to be careful of is I'm not bringing in a knock code, because for me to calculate federal skilled worker, experience class, and all the other P&P calculations, I need to know what the knock code is, what experience level, what skill level that particular job is. So I hope I didn't lose you. This video is a technical video, but I'm trying to show you the least technical way for you as a new RCIC to build your own website where you can take data. So this is my website, where you can take data. Yeah, just show this. You can take data from your website, and I've got 4 separate forms. You can take all this data, you customize where you insert the data into your own spreadsheet, and then have your own calculations for CRS. So for free, that's, I think, moving forward, I may keep this around, but there's something bigger cooking for me. So, but I just wanted to share this in case you are a new RCIC and you're trying to think of ways to cheaply collect data, especially for if one of your clients is looking for express entry, because you have to have a lot of questions answered, much like the CRS tool provided by the federal government. So in essence, that's what I've kind of done, but I'm using Google Forms and it feeds my own system. Okay, so that's it. This video was a bit unstructured, but hopefully you got the message that, hey, without much technical know-how, you can have your own assessment system. If you are building your own website, it will take you a little bit of time if you're uncomfortable in HTML and that kind of thing. And if you do hire somebody, that's great to build your own website. But you can still, with that in mind, you can maybe talk to your IT person and say, hey, is there a way for me to easily extract that information so I can quickly put it into your own spreadsheet and you can do your own calculations? So hopefully that gets those thought processes going. All right, thank you very much for your time. I'll see you all soon. It's the middle of, actually, third week of July, so hopefully I'll get around to creating more videos for the Excel model. I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.